Tonight, the Titans of Eastern Florida State College begin conference play with a renewed sense of purpose. But they'll have to bring their A game against perennial power Miami-Dade College. Live from Melbourne, Florida, it's the Sharks versus the Titans. It's an early season showdown in the Southern Conference. It is Eastern Florida State College Volleyball here in 2014. Welcome to Melbourne, everybody. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. Thank you so very much for joining us for this contest to start off the season. Kelly Neffa joining me once again. And tell you what, this is something to look forward to. An up-and-comer in the league and then against one of the perennial powers.
I've been looking forward to seeing Miami-Dade. I mean, they got so much history. It's going to be fun.
Let's talk about some of these players. Miami-Dade just loaded with some Division I talent, and it starts with number 14, Elrini Hatziafstriato, and not only is she a great middle blocker, she was the answer on Wheel of Fortune the other night.
And she's a first-team all-conference player from a year ago and first-team all-state, too.
For the home side, the Eastern Florida State College Titans, Fernanda Faustino, the sophomore outside hitter, one of the leading hitters on this team.
77 total kills, led the team in kills so far this year 5 different times.
As we take a look at the starting lineups for each side, it will be first for the Sharks. A player to certainly keep an eye on will be their setter, Corelis Rojas. She has a lot of different options to go to when she sets.
And from Puerto Rico, a 2011 MVP.
For Eastern Florida State College, talk about Juliana Torres is really racking up the blocks. In fact, she is nationally ranked from the middle.
49 blocks so far this year, a 6'2" player from Brazil, former Olympian.
Got a very, very experienced refereeing crew. In fact, 66 years combined between the up ref, Mark Mills, who's been reffing for 26, and the down ref, Rick Linden. There's our coaches, Kiko Benoit, who's got a number of conference titles and national titles to his credit.
From the Dominican Republic, also an 8-time Southern Conference Coach of the Year.
Andrea Rasmussen in her first season. Andrea Rasmussen, University of Northern Colorado graduate, and she's really proud of the way these girls have played in the early season.
Well, they're on the road to having a better year than last year. They were 13-23 a year ago.
There's our aforementioned refs, Mark Mills and Rick Linden. Rick there, Mark, in fact, is there on the right. So a big, experienced crew for one of the key contests here in the early season. So glad you're with us here on WEFS TV.
Well, as you mentioned, Jeff, Coach Kiko Benoit is, he's not used to losing. This is going to be an interesting match tonight because one of the keys, I believe, if I'm looking at this right, is you don't want to get down early if you're the Titans. I mean, you can get down 3-2, 4-3, or don't get down 9-1, 10-1. You're never going to be able to come back.
Titans coming in 5-6 on the season. Miami-Dade 0-0, first game of the season.
They haven't played in 26 days. They had a couple of jamborees and a couple of scrimmages, but they haven't seen any action against anybody but themselves for almost a month.
Kelly, do you think that plays into the hands of the home team here?
Well, they've gotten some action under their belt already. I mean, the Titans have gotten themselves all the jitters out. Miami-Dade, whatever jitters a championship team like this might have, has to work through that, and I guess you get a chance then to get a few points to start with, and that could only be a good thing.
Talked with Coach Rasmussen prior to the contest tonight. Said her team needs to work on a few things, namely their service and then their receive. The receive errors have been a problem. However, they're starting to gel. She's very, very excited about that. They're blocking well and need to continue that trend here tonight in order to perhaps pull off an upset.
There is a chance for the upset. I mean, this is not a bad Eastern Florida State College team, and we all know about Miami-Dade. I mean, they've won 8 national championships, and they've won the conference championship 16 years in a row. So guess who's the favorite?
Favorites will receive the serve first. Eastern Florida wearing the black uniforms on the right-hand side of your screen. And to serve it up first will be Mackenzie Price, the sophomore setter who has 18 aces. Why not get your best server out there to start off?
And this is a good chance to get up on the defending champions.
And the serve is long, so the aforementioned service error starts the game off. It's a point for Miami-Dade.
Well, that's not a good way to do it, but there's, it's only one point.
Yeah, you can't get 5 points for one good serve. On the other side now is Galliano. In transition from the back row is Faustino. That's dug out nicely, and a double touch along that left side. So it's a side out and a point for Eastern Florida.
Well, that's the one way to get things going because they don't make too many errors.
Each team has made one. As Torres serves it away, flying down the line. The shot is good off the hands of Jorgelis Yaspe, the native of Cojede, Venezuela.
And a 6 foot, they got some size, a 6 foot freshman, and she had some power behind that one.
Had some big ups. Adriana Pena, the libero from Puerto Rico, will serve with a 2-1 lead here in our opening set. Treasure Ingram there with the first touch for the Titans, sent over by Taylor. Here they come in transition. The Sharks will attack to the back and is long, and a point to the Titans.
Katie Hogan just hit that one a little bit too hard. 6'2" sophomore, just got too much power behind it.
Native of Scott City, Missouri. So she's come a long way to play some college volleyball down south at Miami-Dade. Here's the server, Ariana Bethel, the sophomore. Good serve, just past that 3-meter line, and it causes some problems.
Galliano with a good dig. Oh, nice play.
Q comes our way to just get it over. Flying in off that block was Yaspe again. Wearing number 17. There's the dig in the back row. Back set to that right side, and it's down for a point.
That's Katie Hogan. She made sure she didn't put as much oomph on that one. So Eastern Florida just can't get themselves a lead.
Back and forth we go. So now Kelsey Taylor, a freshman setter, as Coach Kiko Benoit said, sometimes I'll play with a 6-2, sometimes a 6-1. Depends on the matchups. That one is wide, so another point as Miami-Dade's lead grows. Excuse me, 3-3 is what we have on the scoreboard now. Now 4-2 on our screen. Let's get some clarification.
Well, I've got 4-2, but
should be 4-2. So we are correct. Boy, nice shot. A cross-court winner there for Faustino, starting to heat up.
Faustino with the first kill of the ball game makes it 4-3, and they're sticking right with them. Like I said at the beginning, Jeff, it's only 4-3.
Faustino 13 kills in that win over the weekend against Gulf Coast. 3 serving 4. There's a tip shot. And reaching for it was Davis, could not quite get there. She hit the floor. Point for the Sharks.
And it's a 4-4 tie. Scoreboard got a little bit of a problem up there on the scoreboard inside the gymnasium.
We've got 5-3. And then the overpass is going to be murdered, but guess what? Faustino was right there, so I'll give it change for $1, send it back across. Error on the receive there. Set something up in transition here. Set to the right side. It's up and down for a point. Michelle Rodriguez has the kill.
Well, I've been keeping score. I've got 5-4 Titans right now. But they've got 5-4 visitors.
Nice set play. Makes it 5-4.
Oh, an ace.
And now make that 5-5 on the service ace.
So we'll have to go with what the scoreboard has here. We have another tie at 5-5.
Michelle Rodriguez on the kill. And Caguas, Puerto Rico. Serve the outside again, blocked at the line as Price went up there to help out, but it does fall on the side of the floor of the Titans. So point to the Sharks.
So Galliano, a 5'10" sophomore, they've got a lot of size up there, and that time she, as their outside hitter, was able to get that one down.
There's Hatziaf Striato. Will not attempt to say that 3 times fast. Nice serve. The attack comes from the back, and Mariah Davis. Nice effort to get around. And it hits the corner. That's the toughest place on the court to defend, and it lands inside for Miami-Dade.
Kelsey Taylor, the freshman, had a good dig on that last one to keep that alive, because that was a hard one to return.
Hatziaf Striato is getting looks as a sophomore, Division I, Miami, right down the road from Miami-Dade. The U looking at her. As Pugh made the dig, will come back across with Torres. Dumped across by the setter, Taylor. And big swing, and that goes off of Taylor for the point. Nice. Faustino gets the kill.
And Price had the assist on that one as Faustino got her second kill. Now she's going to get back to serve. Watch this assist right there, and then the kill.
Yeah, they call that a facial.
Got her right in her face.
The perils of playing collegiate volleyball.
Well, it's doing what they need to do. They're staying close.
7-6 to score. Tipped back down for a point, Mackenzie Price.
There's a time for a big hit. There's a time for a little tap. Now we have a 7-up tie.
Faustino will give it a go. The service run will continue. She aims for that back. As Galliano made the receive, it's going to be off of Davis and a point. So side out.
Well, you just can't get the lead as Miami-Dade has it. In fact, Eastern Florida's had only one lead. That was at 5-4. They can't get a run going, but at least they're stopping Miami-Dade from getting a big run like Polk State got the other night, where they had 9 straight points. Boy, that would be disastrous to give them that many.
Corelis Rojas, a 5'8" setter. Talked about her in the open a little bit. Racked up 571 assists as that one from Torres gets blocked. Now when they go cross court, it is wide and a point for the Titans of Eastern Florida State College.
Galliano tried to get it and find an opening there, but couldn't quite do it as the line judge signaled it out, and now it's going to be Price on the serve again.
Price, who started this game off with a service error, will try to even things up with an ace. That left foot, another service error. It's long. Can't quite find the contact point on that left hand.
Price from Carson City, Nevada, Carson City High School. Those are the mistakes you were talking about, Jeff. They just can't afford to do that.
You'll take a service error if it's aggressive, provided you're getting aces out of it. Get it back, and there the overpass is nearly crushed back down by the big middle, Melissa Murphy.
Treasure Ingram trying to tap it over.
Ingram goes up to block. She'll do just that as the rally continues, as Murphy able to get it to touch on the other side, and another point for the Sharks.
Well, that one was deflected, and she still found an opening. That's the second kill for Jaspe. Now they've got that 2-point lead.
Galliano, psych major from Columbia. Oh, passed over as Murphy was right there to send it right back.
And now they have a 3-point lead. They're starting to move ahead.
Stoner in the back, just couldn't quite handle that one. Galliano get another chance.
Galliano is the second highest kills last year, 246 kills for a season.
Free ball and tapped back over. Nicely done, Lindsey Pugh, to keep things alive. Treasure Ingram now unable to find the floor. Back set coming quickly to Hogan.
Net violation. Net violation on looks like Murphy.
So cheap point. 12-8 to score here as it's starting to get away to reach, approaching anyway, the middle point of this first set. And this is the season opener for Miami-Dade. That serve causes some problems. Free ball again as Stoner will send it over.
They're getting into dangerous territory here with the 5-point deficit, and they're going to call timeout.
As soon as you say that, yes. Andre Rasmussen will talk things over. The serve receive has been an issue for a good part of the season, and it started okay at the beginning of the match, but now perhaps just a little lack of focus. Now you're looking at Kike Benoit, originally from the Dominican Republic, and he's been a fixture in South Florida. Number of national titles, 8 in fact, 16 conference titles in a row. That is getting it done.
He's been there since 1994. He was an assistant coach first. He's been the head coach since 2005. There you see Coach Rasmussen, who's got some work cut out for her. She's going to get this thing going her way. You know, we were talking about how good Miami-Dade has been over the years. This year, though, it's surprising, Jeff, to see the national top 10, and they're not in it. I mean, the Hillsborough Community College is the only one from this region who's in it. They're ranked number 9. You got Blinn College, who's won their, number of national championships, but Miami-Dade's not in it yet.
Central Florida ranked number 13, and Eastern Florida gave them a run over the weekend in a 4-set loss, but coach liked what she saw in that game, and now the shot clock goes off for some reason. And when Ingram sends it long.
So Galliano did a good job digging out when she had a diving dig to get that thing out, and the hit was too long. So now it's a 6-point lead.
No shot clock violation, apparently. That's good.
You have to give the players credit. They didn't stop playing.
They just kept going, yep. Excellent point. Another serve receive comes near to us, and another service ace for the Sharks of Miami-Dade College, who looking impressive here in their season opener as Galliano will return to the service line.
She was a freshman last year, played in 23 of their matches, so she got some good experience on a very good team.
Coach Benoit saying she's getting looks from the University of Tampa and the University of Missouri in the SEC. Good program, and now Ingram able to get one to fall. Now we'll stop that run.
Well, she was very much determined. She had a lot of them go wide, and this time, if you watch her as the set, there she goes up, and she is going to make sure that one gets down.
Placed it on the far side perfectly. Serve came from Torres. Now coming back, the tip shot saved nicely by Rodriguez. Ingram with that right hand, it's into the net. Didn't get what she wanted on it.
And again, they can't get the streak going. One and done. 16-9.
Serving with a 7-point lead is the libero Adriana Pena.
This is
one
a
of the sophomores.
9-2 run.
Starting to seize control as Ingram gets the first touch. It will be dumped across by Rodriguez. Well, nice save by Ingram, but unfortunately went out of bounds. So another point, and the lead extends out to 17-9.
Not much the Treasure could have done with that one. It was doomed right from the start.
Pena. 5'5" sophomore. Boy, great serve as Ingram was able to get back, and now a miscommunication in the back row leads to another point.
Kind of like a campfire. That's where everybody just kind of stands around in a circle and watches the ball go in the middle like a campfire.
Kumbaya, apparently not. Sharks have doubled them up, 18-9 here in our opening set.
Benu's majoring in biology, serves.
Nice float set right past that 3-meter. Sent across, good job as Pugh stops the run with a deep winner.
Lindsay Pugh with their first kill of this first set, and they've got to reel off a whole bunch of points here in a row.
Lindsay, a sophomore, a Brevard County original from nearby Titusville High School. All Cape Coast Conference performer as a Terrier. Boy, they feed the right side, and boom goes the dynamite by Katie Hogan. Look out now. Wow. See why Todd Dagenet at UCF has given her a look.
They have anybody on this team who doesn't hit hard. Man, there's no soft touches at all. There we go, Kelsey Taylor, 5'6" freshman, ready to serve.
19-10. Feed the middle, just enough on it to get it across was Rodriguez. Go all the way to the back. Bethel got the first touch. He'll go to the left. Big dig made. Tip shot finds the floor again as Yaspe gets the kill. Good touch.
Kind of like in baseball, Jeff, you just got to hit it where they ain't.
It's like throwing a changeup. Yep. You come at them with the big heavy hits and then just the touch to get them.
Because you're expecting the big heavy hits.
Free ball for Eastern Florida. Bethel will just send it over. Boy, great set. Taylor sends it back. Oh, come on, joust at the line, two, and third hit is over.
Pugh did a great job there, keeping that alive.
To that back corner. They come to it, look for that back line. How about the move by Galliano to keep it? Rally continues, trying to get settled here.
Good deep
First
by
touch
Bethel.
by Davis.
Oh.
And in the end, a point for the Sharks. We saw Shatsiastriato go to the floor to dig that and keep it alive. And that will bring out another timeout. It is 21-10.
You know, we were talking about the pole. the NJCAA poll, and it looks as though that Eastern Florida has already seen some of those teams. I mean, they had some, or not Eastern Florida, but Polk State, which we saw last week, had seen Iowa Western, and they're ranked number 2 in the nation. There's some good play nationwide, and actually Miami-Dade's used to all of that because they've certainly gotten themselves a good run going. They were 21-7 a year ago, and they look pretty sharp here.
You know what, Iowa Western, a powerhouse of the junior college level for years in many sports. It's a good program to model yourself after if you're Eastern Florida State, and they're certainly catching up in a number of sports, and volleyball will get there.
You know, over the weekend, the Titans lost to College of Central Florida, but they did beat Gulf Coast State. Fernanda Faustino had 13 kills in that one, but just the errors. You talk about how they are 8th in the nation and receive errors, and so you know it's not a good stat to be in.
Yeah, and 11th in service errors with 90 coming in. They've added to that total here. Those are free points you're giving away, and Coach Rasmussen trying to address that. As the team gets used to playing with one another, they'll certainly improve.
Double hit.
So an error brings the rotation and the side out as Mariah Davis checks in for Lindsay Pugh.
Davis, a 5'11" sophomore, gets her first chance to serve.
She and Treasure Ingram, high school teammates at John Carroll Catholic and Fort Pierce. They go to the middle as Davis is able to make the dig, and now she'll send it over. Boy,
nice job.
Great dig by Kelsey Taylor on the other side. Just closed her fist and brought it down. Big block. Now Davis going to go to the outside, and Faustino.
You know, their back row players are excellent.
Yeah, the Sharks are digging everything. Try the middle tip down the line as it went down the net, and a point to the Titans.
This is one of the few times they've gotten to serve more than once.
Davis will give it a go again. That showed some good offense there from the back row. And a big hit, and that might have been headed out, and a whistle beforehand.
And a point to Miami-Dade. Was that it was a net violation, was it?
Good question.
Maybe it was a double hit.
Couldn't quite see the signal there.
22-12.
3 points to close it out here as Yaspe serves. So we get a run of a couple points. That set was off the mark. Transition, there's the roll. You see here, coach yell, move your feet.
Can't stand around.
Boy, big swing, and it goes off of Stoner, and it's another point. So now out to 23-12, 2 points away from an opening set win here for the visitors from Miami-Dade.
That's the lady with 17 letters in her name. I'll let you tackle it.
17 letters.
And she's going to serve. No, this is Jaspe's going to serve.
Yeah. George Elise Yaspe, the freshman outside. Really impressive so far. And just it's a factory as Miami-Dade just keeps rolling into quality players. That one is long, so service error brings it back to within 10. And you may not win the first set, Kelly, but you'd like to get a couple of points here to get some momentum to go into that second set.
Well, you need a whole string of them right here.
Rodriguez will start it off. They go right back to the corner. Perfect placement by Galliano. Another kill for her. And the sophomore makes it set point, 24-13.
That is her second kill. And you can see it's very impressive. They find that open corner.
Adziastriato try to close it out here. 12 set points to work with. And there it is, service ace as Davis unable to handle a little miscommunication in the back row, and that gives it to the Sharks 25-13 in our first set. Visitors strike first blood, no pun intended with the Sharks. We'll be back for set 2 next.
At Eastern Florida, I found the advantage I need and the support I want to build my future. Close, affordable, flexible programs leading me to a great job.
Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs this fall in today's fastest growing job fields of computer information technologies, healthcare, and business.
My opportunities are endless once I get my degree.
at Eastern Florida State College. Apply today.
We're back in Melbourne, 25-13. It goes to the Miami-Dade College Sharks in that first set. Eastern Florida now will switch sides and hope to rebound here in this second set. Jeff Radcliffe alongside Kelly Neff. And what does the home team need to do to get back into this one?
Well, I'll tell you, the too many errors is what we were talking about before, and that's exactly what they've been committing here. They've got themselves the talent to do it, but I don't know if they've run into too many teams or will run into too many teams that hits the ball as hard as this Miami-Dade team. And it took them a few points to finally get in their swing. We kind of thought they would do that a little bit. Eastern Florida had a lead at 5-4, but that's the only lead they have had. And then the string, as you can see some of the highlights, there's a little tap right there. And they're just playing well.
Some heavy shots like that were putting holes in the floor, and then that backed the defense off a little bit. And then they hit them with the tips and the rolls and really took a tight game there in the first 10 points or so, and then just extended it out to, it was insurmountable. Boy, another big swing there, as you see. We saw Yaspe and Murphy with some big kills. This was set point, and it was one of those errors you were talking about, Kelly, another receive error, which there were too many of.
Well, Davis got in the way, actually, that one. She didn't react to it, and it just hit her arm and went out of bounds, and you really got to make those plays.
So much about communication.
Oh, we're talking about mistakes, Jeff, but you know, on the positive side, the Titans are 11th in the country in blocks, so they're doing some things right.
We had a tall order to block some of the attacks coming here. We'll see what adjustments they make as we switch sides. Now, Miami-Dade will be on the right-hand side of your screen in the gray.
You know, one of the things to talk about, you talk about the mistakes that the Titans have made. There were only 6 kills out of 25 points for Miami-Dade in that first game. That shows you how many points they got on errors.
That's an excellent point.
And now they're trying to put some last-minute instructions in as Coach Rasmussen talks to her players. But it's only one. You got to win 3, so that, you still got 4 left. But this is a very tough team. They know what they're up against. Those Titans know that these Sharks can be very, very good because they have been for so very, very long.
See Kiko Benoit all smiles, and why wouldn't he be? First set of the season was a dominating one, and they'll serve to start here in set number 2 with Carelis Rojas, the setter. He's getting some interest from an NAI school, Park University in Kansas City. A lot of these sophomores will move on, and point as that one is out. So the Sharks start off right where they left off. They lead 1-0.
But Juliana Torres was a little indecisive as to what she was going to do. She went up for the spike and then came down and just had to tap the ball, and then it went wide.
Rojas, a physical therapy major. Boy, how about the spin on that serve? It's tipped and a carry on that, no, a double hit. So
we're going to have a 1-1 tie. You got to hang in there just like the first game. Lindsay Pugh checks in, the 5'10" sophomore.
A little dissent from the Sharks there. Didn't quite agree with it, but
one of our officials apparently has been too aggressive. He's got his arm in a sling.
It's Rick Linden. 40 years of experience here in Brevard County at the college and high school level. As there's another point, Eastern Florida has got the point. 2-1 in the lead.
They only had 1 lead in the first game at 5-4. Now it's 2-1.
Baby steps.
Got to take them little by little.
That is right on the line.
My.
Ace. Boy, beautiful serve there that fooled everybody. Mackenzie Price, and the Price was right on that serve.
And she knew exactly how hard she had to hit it.
19th ace of the season. Remember, she had the 2 service errors in that first set. Gotten that corrected. We'll feed that right side, and cross court doesn't go down for Talia Torres. Back to the middle. Murphy
Nice
with the
block.
big swing.
Oh,
They got the block initially with Torres, but it came back over, and then they just dinked it over for a point.
Corelis Rojas, the 5'8" sophomore setter who decided she wasn't going to set there, she was going to get the point herself.
The serve from Torres, that is long. And 3-2, make that 3-3, we're even.
You can't give them points. You just can't give any team points, let alone a good team like this.
Service run will continue for Talia Torres, the freshman opposite hitter. Boy, 2 can play at that game, but Rojas was ready for the tip.
Stoner, nice pass. Oh, into the net.
Attack into the net off of Pugh.
So Miami-Dade has overcome that 3-1 deficit. Now it's 4-3. They've gotten 3 points in a row.
Trying to make it 4 here. Old Torres. Nice run from the service line. Got to get into system here. They aim for that back line. The ruling is it's out. It was that close.
I thought it was in, but
Not close enough.
they didn't ask us for our opinion.
Nor will they.
Ever.
Lead now up to 2. And it's not so much the serving's been good, just haven't been able to get into system offensively. That one dug in the back by Torres. Nice dig by Faustino in the back. Lead to right side. Big swing, but blocked by Ariana Bethel. Put the roof on it.
That was as good a block as you're going to see. Watch this. There he goes.
So Bethel and Torres appeared to get on that one. Torres will serve. Freshman middle blocker, native of Brazilian. Boy, flying high and putting it down hard was Galliano. Athletic move there by the sophomore outside.
Sure looked bigger than her 5'10". I mean, 5'10" is good size, but she's looked a lot bigger than that.
See the pink headband that makes her look faster, taller.
Galliano to serve.
Didn't take long to find her. To the middle, a little miscommunication. There it comes, a little tip. Free ball as Faustino will just take it across.
I thought a good dig there.
Big outside shot is wide.
Well, I guess Miami-Dade can make errors too.
It is possible.
Yeah. Here's
No
Bethel
such thing
playing.
as perfect. You strive for perfect, doesn't mean you're going to get there.
Bethel on the serve and having a good game.
Native of Stewart, went to Martin County High School right down I-95 from here. Well, back to that right side, and it was blocked but out of bounds, so it is the point for Eastern Florida, as Lindsey Pugh will get credit for the kill.
Now each team has come back from a 2-point deficit. It's now a 6-6 tie.
Hand placement on the block wasn't optimal. That's why it went out of bounds. On the slide, Murphy, and that's pretty much unstoppable. She goes line.
That's her 3rd kill, the 6-foot sophomore, as you see her come up and get that one down.
Send it right to that back row. Murphy will check out. And
You go
coming
for
in
it.
is Hatziaf Striato. Well, how many letters did you say? 19? 17.
17 letters in her name.
Just shy of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
There we go. Oh,
He
nice block.
winds up. But again, it was blocked out. So a point for Eastern Florida.
And we have our 4th tie, 1-1, 3-3, 6-6, now 7-7. They're playing a little bit smarter here.
Certainly hanging in. I got the message from Coach Rasmussen.
Davis ready to see if she can get an ace. Nope.
Kept that one right past the 10-meter. Another big swing and unable to receive the ball. Went out.
Once again, the old syndrome of one and done. You can't get any string going. It's just frustrating.
And Bethel made sure. Free ball. Keep it in the system as Taylor serves it up. Back row attack looking good, but interesting to see Katie Hogan, the middle blocker, playing all the way around from that back row. She got low to start that off. Number 7, usually you don't see your middles play all the way around, but she's certainly doing that.
And now they have a 2-point lead. It's at 9-7. I like the way that Hasti Ostriota she moves all the time.
Hogan serve. Now do the quick set in the middle, the one, and a little miscommunication for once on the side of the Sharks. Impressive attack there for the Titans.
Went right through the double block, just exactly through it.
Tough when you try to put it right there on that 10-foot line.
This game's up for grabs. No,
Calbear sent that one a little too far. You're going to have a service error, though. You want it to go long and not into the net, so it's a start. Always a chance that the defender will keep it in.
Adara Anselmo. This is the first time we've seen her. A 5'9" freshman comes in.
Second team All-Dade County at Coral Reef High School in Miami. Anselmo. Serve blocked at the line nicely by Torres. Tough to get past that defense. They try to get the line, but it is out. So another point, and Anselmo will serve again.
This is the time in the first set, Jeff, where it started to go south. It was 9-8 at one point then. It was 9-8 here, and then all of a sudden things fell apart.
Point would come in handy here. Boy, nice kill there by Faustino, it appears. So she'll add another to her total, 11-9.
Well, let's see if they can get the lead. They haven't gotten a string going for a while. Maybe this is the time to do it.
From Florida State College has had some success if they're attacking cross court, not hitting in directly into the block, going away from it. That one is long, a big wind up for Torres, and for once it doesn't land inside the paint. So a couple of points in a row here for the Titans. Faustino, the sophomore outside hitter. Great serve as it knocked the defender all the way down. Free ball from the back row is Stoner. They attack the middle again. They find the soft spot in the floor, and unable to make the dig was Davis.
Had a little pancake there, but
tried. Huh?
No syrup to go with it. Alrighty, once again comes a Rojas in to serve.
It's 12-10. This set still up for grabs. As Rojas sends it high. The jump serve, boy, has a lot of sting on it.
Wow.
And Mariah couldn't handle it.
It doesn't look like she could hit it that hard.
That was just a fantastic serve. Not many were going to be able to dig that.
13-10, 3-point lead. This young lady is a pretty good player, physical therapy major, 2011 MVP.
Well, you know that the Sharks have done their scouting and seen that the serve receive can be an issue for Eastern Florida. That time the win was at the net, and the lead grows to 4, 14-10 here in our second set.
Murphy did a good job blocking and then got the kill. They're smiling out there about that.
Rojas, a little stick on that one. There's the good pass that time. Keep it in system, and there's an overpass. Back set has seen some success in the net, so point for Eastern Florida.
That stops the run and gives them an opportunity to get a run going of their own as Mackenzie Price, the 5'10" sophomore, decides she wants to start a run.
Titans have found some success with that back set to the opposite and the back set to the slide of the middle blocker.
Another back set.
Running in was Bethel. From the back row, the attack comes from Hogan. And dumped right back down, finding the right spot. Juliana Torres, nicely done.
She tried to do it the pass before, and it didn't work, so she just stayed right in the same position, tapped it down again, and that time got the point.
Juliana, a big fan of the Harry Potter books, used a little magic on that shot there. No wand required. Oh, boy, big swing down the line. Galliano has been very impressive.
They're very good at deceiving the defense.
Yeah, they all went to block inside. She sent it down the line. And something a shot coming with that kind of steam is just tough. You got to be able to dig it. Bethel got a touch on it on the defensive side, so it counts as a point.
You got to think, even though you're down by 2, that you're playing much better here, and this still is up for grabs. You get a little run here, 3 or 4, and you got the lead.
Torres, the freshman.
Did we say hi to her mom again?
Good, watching back in Brazil. Tip shot.
Oh,
So
nice.
saved, yeah, by Faustino. Faustino got that one arm out there to keep it. And they go off the block, and it's a point for the Titans.
Calbear right there to help. It's now a 1-point game at 15-14. Little help action right here as she goes up and taps it right back down and right off the shoulder.
Yeah, Murphy had a big wind up there. They were ready for her that time. Put up the stop sign on her for once. 1-point game. That one's tight to the net, causes some problems, but handled sweetly by Katie Hogan.
You know, I don't understand how a player can go up like that and make that quick a decision to tap it or to
Helps
spike
when
it.
you're 6'2".
You see everybody. But it's just a decision you have to make within less than a second. It's like, do I swing at this fastball or not?
Well, the accounting major's been adding it up nicely. An overpass is sent right back down by the aforementioned Katie Hogan. And the Hulkamaniacs were running wild on that one.
As soon as you saw the pass and saw right where Hogan was, you knew exactly what was going to happen.
Oh my goodness gracious. You do not want to make a mistake when she's in the middle.
They're earning more of their points this game than they did last game.
Sure. 17-14. Got to stop this run right now. And there they go back to the slide, and that works out well.
Torres with a nice dig. There's
another
a tap.
tip shot.
Oh,
and free ball
no.
will not go on the third.
Well, starting to get away from the Titans. It's now a 4-point lead for Miami-Dade.
Pinball wizard on the side of Eastern Florida.
And it looks like we have a timeout. Looks like Coach Rasmussen is going to call for a timeout. This is a very talented team. I was talking earlier with the assistant coach. His name is Jimmy Exley, and he is actually the coach in charge of recruiting. And I was asking him about Hatziafstra Diado, and he said that she was actually not recruited by them. She was recruited by a former Miami-Dade player, Jeff, that happened to see her in Greece. The player had gone to Greece, or actually was from Greece. They happened to accidentally meet and talk about Miami-Dade, and so she came over here, and you know, we talked about her in our pre-game talk, and well, you talk about getting you know, the luck of the Irish, and yeah, they certainly got some luck there.
Hatziafstra has gotten a lot of the pub, but tell you what, all the attention they pay to her, you see Katie Hogan with the put back there on the overpass. She's been really impressive. So has been Marissa Murray and Yaspe as well.
Hatziafstra, I like the way you looked at me like you were very impressed that I could pronounce that.
All 17 letters, most of them consonants.
All right, here we go again as Galliano serves.
Galliano's been a big hitter too. Come in waves. You can't, if you stop one, they have somebody else. Here comes the slide. No, they go to the outside overpass. Joust won by Calbear that time.
Well, there's still life left in the old team here. You're only down by 3.
Takes skill when there's a joust there at the net. Know when to let it go. And she timed it perfectly.
Here comes Bethel, the sophomore outside hitter, as you mentioned, from just down the road.
Won a state title with Martin County High School and making it look good there on the service. Ace.
Their third ace of this set, and it's brought them back to within 2.
Bethel, another good serve. And we got a double touch, so a couple of straight points here. Makes it 18-17, a 1-point second set here as the confidence building on the side of the Titans.
A lot of points in this match so far, 35 of them. We only had 38 in the last game total.
Back to the middle and back to Hogan. Swings it off the top of the tape and down.
For somebody who didn't start, she is kind of flexing her muscles. She has 6 kills already.
I think Coach Benoit is learning about his team here in this first game.
Katie Hogan, first team Southern Conference a year ago.
Taylor. Originally from Dallas, but went to Westminster Christian in Miami. Serves it away. Quick hit there by Colbert, starting to get some of her confidence in. Bethel, back row to the right side, denied.
Nice block.
Pugh came right back down and started it back off. Tight to the net. Nice effort by Taylor to set it back up. On the back row, Bethel, no problem by Taylor. Set comes from Galliano this time. Little waterfall on the other side. It does fall for Katie Hogan.
Got right through the double team. The double team wasn't very tight on that one, and so they were able to get it through.
20-17. Cue the Jaws music here as the Sharks are starting to get a little close to a second set win. They're at 21st. Sometimes it's a race to that 2-0. And that one is out. Now it's 21-17.
Well, did they give it all they had and gonna fall here towards the end?
Out of gas, trying to catch back up.
Taylor, first team all-dayed last year.
Tip shot. And Hogan unable to wind up for that one, thank goodness.
There we go.
Backside.
Double block
off
out
the
of
antenna.
bounds.
Off the block, yep.
So that helps a little bit. Then get a little bit closer. It's now 22-17.
And timeout. 3 points away are the Sharks from an opening 2-set lead.
You know, a little bit later, even though we're talking volleyball here, Jeff, a little bit later as we watch Coach Benoit talk to his team, there's going to be some soccer that's going to be broadcast. Now, we had some bad weather this past weekend, and the women's soccer home opener was canceled because of lightning storms right here on the campus. So they're now going to open their season this Friday at home against Florida College System Activities Association. And so I don't know, when's our first soccer? Is that
Sunday? The men's
Sunday?
are playing Andrew College at noon on Sunday, and hopefully that's early enough before the typical Floridian afternoon storms come through. We are supposed to have rain this weekend too.
Always seems to come between 3 and 4.
Yeah, tell you what, the new field there, if you haven't seen it, can take on some water. We were there for the high school state championships last year, and we had, especially during the boys finals, a tremendous amount of precipitation, and the field held up all the way through. We had some delays, but it will handle it just fine. Fine facilities here at Eastern Florida State Colleges. The volleyball team is now down 23-17 here in this second set.
Here's Kelsey Taylor, who wants to be a coach when her playing days are over.
Taylor, serve Bethel on the serve receive. She's been solid there on the back row. I'll go to the middle, and Hatziafstriato.
Got him within 1 point of the second set win.
It is set point 24-17. This one's been a lot more competitive though. They had to work for it. Taylor on set point number 1. Tipped and dug out by Torres. Down the line. Dig made by Stoner. Big swing. In transition, the Sharks' big swing. Blocked at the point.
There's a couple good double blocks.
Bethel over the top. Rally continues. Look out now. Hogan is denied. And they stay alive. Do the Titans.
That's violation, yeah. So it's they've got to run off a whole bunch here.
Saw Fernanda getting close and scared him a little bit.
Here we go with Mariah Davis.
Davis, good serve. They set the middle, and bam! That will do it as Hatziafstriato puts an exclamation point on set number 2, 25-18. They're out to the 2-0 lead, and it is time for adjustments for Coach Andrea Rasmussen and the Titans. They trail 2-0 here in Melbourne. We'll be back for set 3 right after this.
On August 27th, the Eastern Florida State College Titans women's volleyball team held its 2014 Sports Media Day. Andrea Rasmussen talked about her expectations for the team in her first year as head coach.
From the very beginning, the very first day that we came into practice, we talked about where we wanted to see ourselves at the end of November. I don't want to see our season end the second weekend in November. I want to see us at the national tournament, which is the week before Thanksgiving. So that is our concern and that is our focus. It's not about the numbers and the win-loss columns between here and there. It's about playing tough levels of competition and preparing ourselves to get through that state tournament and going on and playing on.
I kind of expect us to go, being honest, to go farther than we did last year. And my goals are just to be positive after everything, even if we lose, to still stay positive.
My personal goal is just be a better setter, and with jump setting as well. Like, this is my first year jump setting, and I've always wanted to improve on that. The setter is important because you have to stay positive no matter what, and always communicating to everybody and letting them know what to hit, and not only like the communication, but keep their mentality up and focused.
I expect us to have a positive attitude in everything that we do, win or loss, and I'm really expecting a lot of success and a lot of hard work to be put in this year. We have a different mindset going in this season, and our mental game is a lot stronger. We have a lot more positive outlook. I really obviously want to make it to nationals. That's my ultimate goal. Even to states would be awesome after coming out of last year's season. So I would measure success on how we came out in the end. If we came out with our heads held high, that's success to me. If we come out, chins low and just like, well, didn't do our best. I want to come out, success is doing our best and holding our chins high and knowing that we gave it all.
I'm bringing a new mentality to the program and trying to really revitalize it and improve it. There's no reason with the facilities that we have, the support staff that we have at Eastern Florida, that we shouldn't be a state contender. And that's really angled towards a few select girls, and you can see in our freshman recruiting class that every single one of those girls was willing to buy in to the program at this level and say, yeah, I want to come in and contribute, make a difference, let's improve this together. So it really wasn't a struggle to recruit here. A lot of young female athletes want to improve a program and want to get that chance to play right away.
Well, Andrea Rasmussen's Titans trailing 2-0 here in this big matchup from against Miami-Dade College. Jeff Radcliffe, Kelly Neff, our entire Eastern Florida State College crew, WEFS TV crew, and a little break here between set 2 and 3. And they made some adjustments there, Kelly. Got a little closer. That one took a little longer to get out of control, but still the errors are costing them a little bit.
It started to be a carbon copy, Jeff, of the first set because they stayed with them early on, and then Miami-Dade was able to stretch out that first set lead. But like you said, they stayed with them a lot longer in this one, and in fact the biggest lead that the Sharks had was 4 points, and that was at 18-14. Well, then at the end they kind of stretched it out there at the very end, but during the crunch time they had a very small lead as we look at some of the highlights. And of course,
Shirato right there from the middle.
5 kills in the first 2 sets of this, and that's 7 kills for Katie Hogan. A lot of action in this second set, and much
the
better.
overpass was there. Hogan was just powering them down. You can't make mistakes when she's lurking the middle.
Hard to beat a 6'2" girl like that. She's got herself a good right armor. There is Hatsiaf Sadiato again.
Nicely done. And here was the final point as they went to Hatsiaf Striato. The Greek freak, if you want to call her that. She is impressive. Hitting .411 last year, and she's off to a good start here in the season opener for the Sharks. Of course, this is game number 12 for the Titans, who are really gotten the season going in a positive fashion, but they will, unless they do something here, will drop to 5-7.
Well, the Sharks are going to be playing in Ocala this weekend at the College of Central Florida tournament, while the Titans really have a big schedule. They have 4 road matches. They're going to be taking on Clearwater Christian, Cape Fear Community College, Catawba Valley Community College, and Pasco Hernando. So the coach has them playing a lot on the weekends, and I'll tell you, if you can, the more you play, the better you're going to get.
Yeah, Kelly, and then they're on the road Tuesday again at Broward before coming home the following day on Wednesday against St. John's River. So busy early season schedule, and playing the games is what will get you better.
We heard Coach Rasmussen talking about wanting to be at nationals. Now the Division I JUCO National Championships are going to be held at the Casper Event Center in Casper, Wyoming this year, November 20th through 22nd. If you're interested in circling that on your calendar, now the champion of each district will advance to the JUCO Division I National Championships. The Region 8 finals here are going to be held November 9th at Florida State College in Jacksonville, in case you want to circle that on your calendar as well.
Kelly, in your travels, have you been to Casper, Wyoming?
Never been. I've been to Wyoming, but never to Casper.
Like one of the rodeo capitals of the United States.
That's right. You've done rodeo play-by-play.
Well, not well. Many moons ago.
I did the Division I 1AA, actually, football broadcasting. We went to Wyoming.
Yeah,
once,
okay.
but,
Beautiful country out there.
Yeah,
Talk about the antithesis of Florida. Much different as far as environment.
We talked earlier about Correlis Rojas, and you mentioned how she was interested in going to college in Kansas City. And for a young lady who's from Puerto Rico, that could be a culture shock come November, December, and January. She goes
no kidding.
Kansas City.
Well, if she likes barbecue. A number of these players say they like to eat. Yeah, that's a good place to go out in Kansas City.
Kansas City's the best place you can go for barbecue. Well, here you got the tough road. You have to win the next 3, obviously, and that's going to be very difficult to do. But again, the game plan, as far as I looked at it, you can't let them get up early, which they haven't done, but they've let them get up late, and that's really been the downfall tonight.
You can't win 3 at once. You got to take it one at a time, which is the cliche, but it is so true.
And the one-armed referee is making sure everybody is in rotation.
Has he been to Vegas? Is he a one-armed bandit?
I'll tell you. Maybe he got injured doing those Las Vegas slot machines. There he is.
That is Rick Linden. Been doing it for 40 years.
Wow. All righty, we're ready to go. Who's going to serve here? It's going to be Eastern Florida.
And it'll be Mackenzie Price, of course, the leading server on this team. And of Carson City, Nevada, speaking of Vegas. Different part of the state, but
50 points for the Sharks, 25 kills. So they have actually done a little bit better in that second set.
Now the battle of the net won by the Sharks, and they're off to a lead again, 1-0.
And that was Rojas, and Rojas has played very well as a setter, front row player.
Rojas. I'll send it deep as Stoner makes the dig. They'll attack from the back row with Faustino. Can't get it to go down. Big swing again by number 17, Yaspe.
Boy, she knocked Stoner completely on the floor.
Off the antenna. So the point goes to Miami-Dade, who won the first set 25-13 and then came back and won the second 25-18.
Stoner, the 5'2" freshman, did a whole somersault. That ball was hit so hard it just knocked her completely down. Man.
Correlis Rojas served it. Bethel's had a nice game, has another kill there on that outside spot, right at the pin, and put it down.
She's actually leading the team in kills. There's 3 girls with 3, and she has them.
Showing something to Coach Rasmussen here in this game. Her serves have been good as well.
So Torres ready to serve. Torres, the freshman middle blocker. And we have, I don't know, somebody lose a contact lens? No, I guess they're just tying their shoe. Talking about Torres from Santa Catarina, Brazil, 6'2". She loves to travel. She wants to study other languages. Says she wants to write a book someday.
Maybe the next Harry Potter novel could be hers.
Well, sure. Then she'll be bought out by Disney.
Nationally ranked in blocks, 39 coming in. Whoa. Big swing and a big block. Speaking of the blocks, and that got everybody fired up as Bethel was right there. So was Pugh.
Wow. You talk about being excited.
Damn. Sometimes you just need a spark.
That might be it.
They were in the locker room for an extended period in between that second and third set. See what adjustments and things were said. They've certainly come out fired up here in this third set. That is going to be out. So point back to the Sharks. They reclaim the lead 3-2.
Sometimes that ball comes to at you so quickly and so hard
react.
that, and that's all you can do is just knock it somewhere. Unfortunately for her, it was not completely out of bounds.
George
freshman.
Jaspe.
Yep, freshman, 6 foot.
Oh, they look to that back corner. Can't find it, but on the other side, that soft spot there at the 10-foot line is continually being exploited there by Miami-Dade College.
That's Rojas with her 4th kill.
And Jaspe, Venezuelan, who on their website was listed at 5 foot. More like 6.
Yeah, a little typo there.
Typo, exactly.
Calbear gets them a point they so desperately needed.
Fast, aggressive middle blocker gets it done. Cuts the lead to 1.
And here comes Bethel.
Quick set in the middle, denied at the point. Set continues, the bump set there by Price. Back to the outside, and it's down. Went under the net, but nobody saw. So Galliano gets the kill.
And for her, that is her 5th. And the Titans just can't get a string going. Haven't been able to do that all night. Here's your favorite player.
Azziafstriato. El Rini, the first name.
Very good.
Majoring in physical therapy. Oh,
the ace.
Another receive error. And it does lead to an ace for Azziafstriato. They just want us to say it as many times as possible.
Titans can't get 2 points in a row, and you can't say the name right 2 times in a row.
No. Once is a victory. El Rini will play it again with a 6-3 lead. And that one is long. So service error brings the side out back to the Titans. 6-4.
And ready to serve is Mariah Davis, the sophomore outside hitter from John Carroll High School.
On the road in Fort Pierce. One of 2 Rams on the roster, along with Treasure Ingram. And there's another point for the Titans, as there was an attack error by Katie Hogan, one of the rare situations that's happened.
You know, you remember back to your school days when long bus trips usually meant you're a little groggy. These guys had almost a 3.5-hour bus ride. They don't appear groggy at all.
Not at all. Neither do the fans that are in the stands. It's like the baseball team or maybe the soccer team in-house cheering on the ladies.
Hey, look, we got another tie here.
So the energy here in the gym increasing every moment. It's tied at 6.
And that might be the team you're talking about right there. Coach Benoit talking to his team. Coach Rasmussen talking to her team. You know, they had 4. They weren't bad last year. I mean, they had 4 Titans named to the all-conference team. 2 of them are back. Bethel was named to the all-tournament or the all-conference team. So was Davis last year. And they brought in some pretty good ball players. So I think she's on the right track here. I don't know if they're going to get to be the Miami-Dade of the conference anytime real soon, but they're certainly working towards that. And they're doing a good job of it.
Instructions received.
You know, I don't know if Bethel's going to get a chance to serve again before it's over. So when we get an opportunity, I got a little something about her I'd like to bring up. Mariah Davis will serve now.
See if Titans can give you that opportunity by extending this match here in set 3. They have the lead, 7-6. So often you lose that focus in the 3rd set when you've taken the first 2 so easily. See how the Sharks respond as the serve will continue from Mariah Davis. And in fact, it is the baseball team here at Eastern Florida State College that is leading the charge as far as the cheering section. It is now even at 7, though, after that kill by Miami-Dade's Rojas.
You know, you get this Hogan young lady, and she's listed at 6'2", but she even looks taller than that.
Yeah, Rojas set her up.
7-7 tie.
It's Taylor, freshman. Right past that time, tipped at the point of attack as Calbear tried to put it across, and it's roofed by Hogan once again, who just had to get on her tippy toes and put her hands over and knock it back.
Yeah, they got the lead.
8-7. Taylor again. A good dig by Bethel. Now in cross court, off the tape, and it is out.
Well, this is the turning point in the whole match right here. When can they stop Miami-Dade right here?
Service run continues for Taylor, the 5'6" freshman. Back row, Bethel again, the nice receive. Keeping him in system, no. Bump set from Pena. And trying to go down the line that time was Galliano. She's been really good when she's attacked the ball and hit it hard. The touch has failed her here in the last couple of trips.
Well, they needed that point. It's 9-8 right now, and if they get a little run going, they've got an opportunity to extend this to another set.
Lena Kalber, the native of Schleierbach, Germany, sends it to that back row. Here they come from the right side, and
wow.
And boy, double your pleasure as Galliano had the first. She had the first attempt at the kill. It was Doug came back over on the overpass. She put it back down, but into the net is the ruling.
Very alert.
9-9.
Wants to be a psychologist.
Mark Mills overruled it. And there's a service ace. Back-to-back points. As Kalber let that one fly from the service line. How about this? The Titans with a 1-point lead here in set 3.
This is their latest lead of the night. They've never led this far into a set.
Kalber, another service ace. That's sent into the bench. So the Sharks coming unglued a little bit, going into shallow water. 11-9.
Little Mo going here, huh? You know, this young lady, Kalber, played for Stuttgart on Germany's under-18 world champions. They come over here and do a good job with their respective colleges.
Plans on studying law enforcement. She's been the long arm of the law recently at the service line. They'll go to the big hitter on the right side. It is way long that time, as Galliano got too much of it, and it went straight instead of down.
5 points in a row.
12-9.
Yeah, how about that?
Got to keep riding the serving of Kalber. Putting him on the defensive, getting him out of system with the serve. Another driven ball to the back. It finds the line. It's down for a point. Another ace for Kalber.
We were talking in the opening about getting a little momentum going, and anytime that you can do that, you've certainly increased your chances of at least making a contest out of it.
Big fan of Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga, first division of German soccer. World Cup champs. Here we go. On the transition is Faustino. That time is denied and the run ends. So 13-10 the score.
That was a nice run while it lasted. As you can see the replay here, the nice set. There's the kill right there. They blocked it right back. Now you
Side
got
out, Galliano serving. Bethel, the first touch. Whoa. Nicely adjusted there by Torres. Wanted to swing, but couldn't. Torres will just send it across. In transition they come. Along that outside. It is tipped for a point.
Well, now let's see. We've got a couple of points in a row now for the Sharks as they try and overcome that 5-point run that the Titans had a minute ago.
Oh, Sylvia. Galliano lets it fly again. Tight to the net. Nicely done by Price to just dink it across. Is it out?
Yep, I guess it is.
On the floor, a point to the Titans, 14-11. The cushion is 3.
Here comes Faustino.
Faustino plans to go into business after college. On the business end, another point for Eastern Florida State College. They've come to life here in set number 3, 15-11. Rasmussen has to like the way her team's responded here. Oh, it's a let serve, it counts. Comes back, blocked at the line. Stoner from the back row, sent over by Davis. Look for the corner. Faustino got the first touch. Bethel with the kill from downtown.
Wow.
16-11.
That's Bethel's 5th kill. There it goes right
And
there.
timeout called by Kiko Benoit. The Sharks will talk things over. They trail by 5 as Eastern Florida State College looking to push this to a 4th game and make the Sharks sweat a bit.
You know, Miami-Dade, Jeff, has won, as we mentioned, a number of state champion or national championships. In fact, they had a run back in the late 80s and early 90s, all the way through the entire decade of the 90s, where they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 national championships. Then they had a year when they finished 2nd. Then they won 2 more in 2001, 2002. But they haven't won one since 2004, even though they've been there a number of times. They haven't won it.
Fellas fired up. Sure, they're looking forward to their TV debut next spring here on WEFS TV.
Miami-Dade coaches that are in the JUCO Hall of Fame take us almost as long to name them as it takes to name the players on this year's team. You have Cookie Stevens, Roberta Boyce, James W. Cox, James Harvey, Elita Madero, and Patricia Bernardo, all in the Hall of Fame.
Certainly an institution there in South Florida, and a good measuring stick program for Andrea Rasmussen. They'll go back to one of the heavy hitters. She can't get it down in Yaspe. Bethel again with the last touch. Play some defense here. They go to the back, and it's on the floor. That was just a perfect placement. Not much you could do about it.
Hogan really on fire. She has 11 kills in this game.
7 and 17. Hogan and Yaspe, along with Galliano, who's cooled off a bit here in this 3rd set.
Stradiato is checking back in. She was kind of cute out in the hallway. I don't care how you pronounce my name. That's close enough.
I'm used to it. Whatever. I've heard it pronounced as many 17 times, as many letters as I have in it. That's how many different ways it's been mispronounced.
There we go.
And system, they feed the middle, but blocked right at the point by Stradiato and Hogan.
That one went under the net.
That doesn't count.
Good thing they don't put their names on the back of the uniforms. It'd break the budget if they had their name on there.
Yeah, I think there's a jersey that would fit it.
Oh, nice dig.
So if they go to Bethel, they won't. They'll send it to the back row and Davis. Big swing and a bigger block. Torres trying to own that net. Davis can't get there. Again, the placement on the shots has been superb for the Sharks. They pulled to within 2.
That's the first time we've seen Serlene Hippolyte, 5'10" freshman, getting a point.
Miami Edison High School. Hopes to be a trainer in the NBA, and now we're back to the receive errors here that are giving cheap points back to the Sharks.
All of a sudden, it's a 1-point game.
That timeout has certainly helped Coach Benoit.
Miami-Dade hasn't had a lead since it was 9-8.
Serve from Hogan. In the middle. Torres with the kill.
There, that's a point needed. They ended that streak.
We back up to 2. As Mackenzie Price, the sophomore setter. This is who you want at the service line. Started the game with a couple of service errors, but has since rebounded nicely with an ace or 2.
Says her talent off the court is singing.
That and just running forever. She's run 5 half marathons.
Oh my.
She'll set it up. Down the line, another kill for Ariana Bethel. The former Martin County Tiger won a state title.
Here we go with her 6th kill right there.
No answer for her here in set number 3. Price will serve again. Send it to that back line. Taylor the set. It'll be dinked to the back, and it will be a free ball. They'll come to the outside. Big swing and another kill for Georgia Elise Yaspe, freshman outside hitter. He flies high.
Miami-Dade just won't let the Titans get a run on.
They got a leash on them. One of those retractable ones. You push the button and the dog has to come back.
Now here we go with Rojas again. She's played well.
Aurelis. Oh, I just dumped Hatziastriato was not fooled.
I don't think much fool, sir.
Swing off the top of the tape, off of the block, excuse me. Big swing is out. They're asking for a tip. They did not get it. So point back to the Titans. Back in front by 3.
Obviously, without a doubt, this is the best they've looked so far.
No. Torres. I want to be that first team to 20. That's such a mental advantage. Here we go to Bethel, and that time she's denied. They're wise to that play.
Well, she's had a lot of them go her way, though.
They rotated the block over to her that time, so find another way around. George Elise Yaspe will serve down by 2. Big swing, a whistle before the shot. Double hit.
Double hit.
Or double touch, however one you want to call it.
Well,
still the same penalty, side up.
It's one-point ball game.
Looking to tie it up is Yaspe. Stoner, the first touch. He'll go to that back corner. Yaspe dove to save it. Great dig. Tipped at the net. Free ball, and it's on the line, it looked like, but no, ruled out.
Well, the Sharks have fought back. It was a 9-9 tie, then they got way down. Now it's 19-19.
Talked about first and 20. Boy, great serve. Stoner had to go low to pull it out. That one's off the block. As Galliano went up the block, it still got through and out. So the first to 20 for the first time tonight will be the Titans. 5 to go here. You got to get 5 before they get 6. Feed the middle, and it was put down with authority. 20-20. No Hugh Downs, unfortunately for us.
You were talking about Bethel, and she haven't got the serve. Her plans after school, marry rich. She's got it together.
Wow, Hatziastriato with the ace. And the place to be is in the lead. That's where they're at, 21-20.
First lead since 9-8. This doesn't bode well. Here's a big point right here.
Need to receive here. Marini goes right to Stoner. So from that back, boy, great placement there, but Galliano there to dig it out. Attack error makes it 21-all. Checking in is Davis. Come in for Lindsay Pugh. Davis to serve.
Our 6th tie. Apparently we're going to have a change made here.
Got to make the rotation sub in front of the referee so he sees it.
So Davis ready to serve again. Davis played in the finals of the 2013 AAU National Tournament.
All right. Rolling here. So
Torres
point for the Sharks.
Yeah, Torres got the kill. They're inching their way closer to a 3-set sweep. Taylor's going to serve again.
Remember, you got to win by 2. So if you can keep them to within 1, you'll certainly improve your chances, says Captain Obvious. Kelsey Taylor now to serve. Been the most entertaining of the 3 sets so far. On the slide and denied that time was Calbert. And the lead back up to 2 is now we're in danger of ending this match within 2 points. Got to get the side out here. And that's exactly what Andrea Rasmussen is thinking. And she'll call the timeout.
You know, it's good to have a good staff. I mean, you put together a winning staff like Coach Benoit has done. He obviously has the credentials, as everyone knows. We talked a little bit about Jimmy Exley, who's also in charge of recruiting. 4th season as assistant coach, head boys volleyball coach at Miami Coral Park Senior High School for For 7 years, he led their boys team to 2 state championship tournaments, 4 district and 3 regional championships. So I guess Coach Benoit has made a good choice in adding him to the team. Also, Natalie Gutierrez, a former middle blocker and volleyball standout, made the Nationals all-tournament team in the 2 years she played, and then transferred to Freed-Hardeman University in Henderson, Tennessee. Played there as well, was all-conference. They've got some pretty good credentials on both sides.
Of course, Andrea Rasmussen, assisted by Ashley Bryant, also here in her first year. 23-21, big point for the Titans here. Stoner with the first touch. They'll go to the outside, and now it is set point as Faustino's shot was denied. They expected that the whole way. So now set and match point, 24-21, and timeout. Got to win this next point or the match is over.
Well, you got to do a whole bunch. You got to win, you got to get a whole bunch of points together. These teams are obviously very well, I wouldn't say very well matched, but very well known to each other. They play every year. You don't know how a team gets to be so good. I mean, any team can eventually be a Miami-Dade. You just have to work and work and work and learn from the best. I don't know if they film all of their games or not, but you can watch it. You can learn a lot from an opponent and use to your advantage.
It's about creating a culture, and that's exactly what Andrea Rasmussen plans to do here in her first year. It does not happen overnight.
They play again on October 7th.
Have to do it by just playing game after game and learning.
Here we go. This could be it.
Got the facilities to attract the players, that's for sure. 24-21, set and match point on the way. They'll attack from the back row with Davis. It is long, and that's it.
So
25-21.
So they had themselves a little run there. I mean, the Eastern Florida State College, Jeff, actually played a lot better in this game from start to finish. They took the lead finally at 7-6, gave it up again, then went 10-9. They actually had a 5-point lead at 16-11, but since then they were outscored 14-10 as Miami-Dade kind of flexed their muscles. So I would think that Coach Benoit has to be pleased overall with the way his team played. This being their first season opener.
Yeah, they'll play Santa Fe on Thursday, then have a couple of games Friday against Palm Beach State College, then versus Broward. They went, again, we'll have some big games coming up, but the first one's always important. A 3-set win, 25-13, 18, and 21, a 3-set sweep for the visitors. We take a look at some highlights from that second set. A much better set for the home team, the Titans.
And the Titans get their 12th match out of the way. It's 5-7 now, which doesn't sound good, but certainly is on par to be good. Sure. I mean, they've obviously got an opportunity to have themselves a winning season and one of the better seasons that they've had recently. But there's just too much Miami-Dade. Look at they double block well. They spike the ball well. They dig the ball well. They just do everything, and there's not a whole lot of flaws in that. They don't beat themselves, do they?
Not at all. And they really, when the chips were down, they turned it on. You said that they had the deficit of 16-11, ended up winning at 25-21. But there are some things to build on if you're the Titans, who fall to 5-7. That third set, they actually answered the bell a little bit and took control of the match. Just couldn't close it out against one of the best teams in the nation.
As we watch some of the highlights, let's take a look at some of the statistics. Unofficially, the Sharks. Katie Hogan, 11 kills and 1 ace in this match tonight. Also, Hatziaf Stradiano had 7 kills and 2 aces. 6 kills for Galeano and an ace. 5 kills for Jaspe, 4 apiece for Rojas and Murphy. Now for the Titans, they were led by Ariana Bethel, who had a fine game, maybe her best of the year. She's had 6 kills in this one plus 1 ace. In fact, the Titans got more aces. The Sharks only had 5 aces, and they had about 8 of them for the Titans.
Titans go on the road for the next 5. They'll be back here Wednesday the 17th for their next home contest, as they are now 5-7 on the season. From our partner Kelly Neff, our producer Brian Foster, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying so long from Melbourne. The Sharks win it 3-0. Good night.
On August 19th, the Eastern Florida State College Titans men's and women's soccer teams held their 2014 Sports Media Day. Both programs are coming off successful seasons and hope to keep the winning tradition going. For Associate Vice President of Athletics and head women's soccer coach Jeff Carr, the expectations haven't changed from previous seasons.
Well, our expectations after the going to the national championship game in 2012 haven't changed. We haven't wavered on that. Our goal is to win a national championship. And there's no excuses if you're a freshman or a sophomore. We have a very talented team. We got to play together, but we have, I think, the talent to play and compete for a national championship this year. I think we have lots of different strengths as a team. We do have some speed. We're very technical. Jamie, a returning player, was All-American last year. We expect a lot of things out of her as well as being captain.
Being recognized as an All-American last year was a really big honor. Coming in this year, I know that I have to work hard and I have to be the best I can be for my teammates, and I really have to motivate them to be the best they can be. We definitely have to stay focused all season, make sure we win our conference games, keep a 0 in the back, and just overall stay undefeated.
Since we do have a freshman team, I feel like we are probably considered an underdog, and I just want to make sure my team goes out there and we prove everybody wrong. Obviously, a national championship is what I'm aiming for. Individually, I want to have as many shutouts as possible and make sure my defense will stay strong as well as offense doing what they need to do.
It's only been a couple weeks now, and we feel like a family, honestly. We're always together in the apartments. We're always together eating or doing whatever, and it's just really nice. On the field, we're coming together really good. Every practice, we know we have to work together because we're not all clicking yet, but we will get there. And every preseason game we play is just making us that much better. All these hard teams, FIT, everyone we're playing, just making us work a lot harder and stay motivated.
For men's head coach Oliver Twelvetrees, the bar has been set high after taking last season's inaugural team to within one victory of playing in the Final Four.
It was a great first year. There were exciting games and some great moments that I know the guys all involved and the coaching staff and the athletic department will certainly remember for a long time, but we're certainly focused on taking that next step and trying to become national champions.
We got to prove what we're here for. Last year nobody knew us. We were a brand new team, but now everybody knows us, so now they're going to expect to play against a hard team. And we just got to go in there and prove them that we are really a really good team.
My expectations for this season is nothing less than the ring. We set such a high standard in the first year that anything less than the ring would be a disappointment. The toughness and the training, and just like you said, we have a lot of tough kids. It's good that there's high intensity in every training. It's just a hard level and everyone's going at it. So when it comes to game day, we got that. Imagine we're doing this against people we like. So we're playing against the opponents, we don't like them. So
something good about our team is we have a lot of depth. We have a lot coming off the bench as well as the starting 11, and I think that's really going to help us down the line.
So come out and support your Titan soccer teams in their march to the national championships.
You got to come and watch it. It's the highest level of great entertainment. It's just really good football, or soccer.
It's exciting. I think a lot of people think of soccer as a boring sport because you don't score a lot. But if you just watch the game, watch us put passes together, I feel like you're just going to be amazed. You're going to have a really fun time.
We've got speed all over the park. We control the ball very well through the midfield. We're a very dynamic team, can score from all over.
The Eastern Florida State College Titans men's soccer team takes on the Fighting Tigers of Andrew College live Sunday at noon on WEFS.